We're here with Dr. Aleko Culp of the University of Southern California, who has spent his life researching stem cells. So, Dr. Culp, what are the applications of stem cells?
Well, as I did my own research and I looked at my peers' research, I learned that stem cells may help us understand how a complex organism develops from a fertilized egg. This breakthrough in research has been used in the treatment for burns and for repairing the blood system in individuals with blood disorders and leukemia. Although controversial with many people, stem cells can be quite helpful in possibly curing disease in which no current solutions exist. Many people believe this research to be unethical because it deals with the question of when life begins. Some say that dealing with stem cells is the killing of an unborn child.
So, Doctor, how were stem cells discovered?
Stem cells were discovered by Dr. John Kersey. He determined this after successfully performing the first bone marrow transplant because stem cells can become many types of cells. It was found they could be used for fighting cancer.
Stem cells are unspecialized cells that can become all other types of cells and are undifferentiated or unspecialized. In comparison to skin cells, muscle cells, and nerve cells, stem cells don't have any designated actions. They can become any cell. Stem cells are used to replace all types of cells, like your intestine, which is replaced every 4 days when the new stem cells take the place of the old, worn-out stem cells. Because they can become almost anything, scientists are hoping to use stem cells to create an individualized medicine that is made just for you. They could potentially be used to make new tissue that would take the place of diseased or worn-out tissue. This use is called regenerative medicine. For example, stem cells are currently at work treating a blood disease called leukemia. Leukemia is a cancer that affects the bone marrow. Bone marrow is the tissue within your bones where blood cells are generated. But with this cancer, the cells grow uncontrollably, taking over the healthy cells. A stem cell transplant makes the blood cells that the person needs. Different types of stem cells include tissue-specific, pluripotent, and induced pluripotent stem cells. Tissue-specific stem cells are also referred to as adult stem cells and are found in most of our tissues. They replace cells that have gotten too old and used. Embryonic stem cells come from donated embryos, and they are pluripotent, meaning they can become any bodily tissue. Induced pluripotent stem cells can be fat, liver, or other cells that have been made to replicate an embryonic stem cell. By combining these types of cells, scientists hope they can be used to heal us. They can also give us insight into the function of the human body. For example, watching stem cells become tissue allows scientists to see how the body does this common function. Someday, scientists hope that stem cells can provide more specialized medicines and create a better idea of how the body functions. Stem cells are also used in medical and pharmacological research. we can learn how stem cells become different cells, and we can create more personalized medicine. Stem cells can be used to learn about diseases and cell types, which provides us with more needed information on these certain topics. So why can't we use adult stem cells instead of embryonic stem cells for all of this research? Well, embryonic stem cells are needed to understand human development, diseases, and cell types at the early levels and stages in development. Embryonic stem cells can be used for this purpose, unlike induced pluripotent stem cells. That is why they must use stem cells to get this desired information. What is induced pluripotency transduction? Scientists found that providing a cell with certain genes can cause the cell to forget itself and become something similar to an embryonic stem cell.
Here is Stemmy the stem cell, and he is going to tell us how he works. Hey there, I'm Stemmy, and I'm a stem cell. I'm here to tell you a little bit about where I came from. It all began when a sperm met an egg, and the egg became fertilized, forming a zygote. This is when I first appeared as a new, early embryonic stem cell. Over the next few days, the embryo continued to grow, and I divided over and over again until the embryo became a blastocyst. The cells on the outside of the blastocyst form the placentia, but all the cells inside are embryonic stem cells that will eventually become the fetus. When I receive the proper chemical signals, I can become all sorts of different cells with special functions. And when you grow up, there's still some of me that stays with you in all sorts of tissues as adult stem cells. This way, I can help you replace old and dying cells in your body. So really, I'm what makes you, you. A stem cell is a single cell that can replicate itself or differentiate into many cell types. Pluripotent stem cells go through a process starting in vivo fertilized eggs, then going to 8-cell embryos, turning into a blastocyst, then turning into a pluripotent. And a pluripotent can therefore go and turn into either neurocells, cardiac muscles, or blood cells. The different types of stem cells. There are adult stem cells. These stem cells are found near differentiated cells. When cells wear down and need to be replaced, the undifferentiated adult stem cells replace them. Another type of stem cells include induced pluripotent stem cells. They are very similar to embryonic stem cells. They are given certain genes causing them to replicate embryonic stem cells. However, they cannot completely replicate all of the human developments and diseases. Stem cells. Stromal stem cells are ones that can become bone, fat, and cartilage. Adult stem cells are those that can become skin, liver, heart, brain, and muscle tissues. All adult stem cells are multipotent, which means they can become a limited amount of types of cells.
Thank you, Dr. Culp, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.